Hello, everybody, and welcome back to yet another album review. Today, we are reviewing RTJ4 by Run the Jewels. So this was a hip hop album, brand new, released this year. So we're going to go over to Brett first and get his view on the album. So, Brett, what did you make of it?
Okay, so just maybe to give a little background on how I was listening to it. So I ended up actually, not intentionally, ended up listening to it in two parts. So I kind of listened to the first, I think it was five or six tracks first. And so another thing as well, I kind of like to be doing an activity or like to be driving, if I'm running or running bike whilst listening to the music. So I'm not just trying to sit and listen to it. That's generally how I like to this album there. So what I'll say is I think for the first parts I wasn't enjoying it at all. I thought this definitely isn't my style of music. It's something I wouldn't generally listen to at all, and I found it hard work listening to. However, by the second part it did seem to change, almost like I was listening to a different album at some point, and I started to enjoy it a little bit more. It was a little bit different, and actually, as a result, then listen to the whole album again and listen to it in a different light. So, like I said, definitely overall not my favourite, but I was surprised by how the songs did actually change, and it changed my perspective of the actual album and the songs.
And did you take any songs away from there that you like, that you want to download?
Yeah, potentially so. I think there was at least one that I quite liked and would put it on my sort of download playlist.
Okay, so you're saying then you didn't like it at first, then it grew on you, and then you listened again, and actually, it was actually all right, basically.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Okay. So as for me, look, I'm looking at my notes here, and look, the truth is, again, I didn't like it. It really wasn't my sort of music. At the end of the day, I was thinking to myself, look, I'm a 34-year-old man. This doesn't represent who I am, you know. I know it might sound strange, it's just music, but when you listen to the lyrics and stuff, it's just not the sort of stuff that I want to be really listening to at the end of the day. I don't know, like maybe in the past, I'm not saying I would have liked this sort of stuff, but even like some of the kind of rap stuff I used to listen to, maybe I wouldn't even listen to that now. Get a bit older, you change. I don't know, but this just wasn't my type of thing. I thought that did have quite an interesting style to it. If we compare it to something we listened to recently, which was
the Tribe Called West, and that's what I was comparing to as well. And that's when you make realize how much I appreciate Tribe Called West as well. Tribe Called Quest. That was sort of more listenable as well. And you made a point, like, I know the lyrics, so I wasn't actually, trying to relate to the lyrics as such. But I think it definitely with rap music, we've spoken about before, that the lyrics play a big part in this style of music. That's its main core focus. Well, I wouldn't say main core focus. That's me being not really known, but I think it plays a lot to what the music is all about.
Yeah, so I think that was especially true with the Tribe Called Quest, because to me, if I'm comparing them, that was obviously like pure sort of 90s American hip hop, and from what I remember of it, there wasn't. I know it was kind of jazzy a little bit, but it was kind of just like pure hip hop rap going on. Whereas this had some more kind of interesting sounds going on. It was, I don't know how to say it, like more progressive. There was more going on in the background rather than just the rapping itself. But even so, I just didn't like it. But I've made some notes, which we'll go through now. So again, Brett, if there's anything you want to talk about for these individual songs, then yeah, just let me know. So
will do.
The name of the album, RTJ4. Do you know what that means?
I'm guessing it's just Run the Jewels, fourth album.
It is, yeah.
Yeah.
Just checking. Yeah. It's not just some random stuff. Yeah. Okay. So the first one was Yankee and the Brave. I just put down
episode 4, apparently.
Oh yeah, episode 4. I put down thumbs down. Just didn't like it. I didn't know what else to say. Just not for me.
Yeah. So because it was episode 4, I was interested because obviously this was the fourth album. Whether there was other Yankee and the Brave episode songs and other albums, I had a quick look. There isn't. There's not even anything that is remotely close to representing this could be a fourth bit or anything to do with Yankee and the Brave. But like you, yeah, it was an awful start. And I thought,
well, we had this
maybe finally going to find an album that I'm probably not going to like or enjoy. So yeah, I thought, yeah, it wasn't a great start. It was just a bit too much going on. Again, not my style either. So yeah,
I think we had this recently. Great. Was it on what they called again? A Tribe Called Quest, where I'm not sure it was them or someone else, where there was a part 2 song, but yet there was no part 1 when I looked on previous albums. So it's a similar thing going on there. Yeah. Okay. So yeah, I'm expecting these kind of first halves, 5 or 6 songs for you to not. I'm expecting you to not like them very much based on what you said in your review. I know you listened again and it did grow on you a bit, but anyway, the next one it was Ooh La La, which I didn't like it, but it did flow a little bit. Kind of, I saw that. Yeah, it did flow. I appreciated that, and the lyrics that I clearly heard was "Pull my penis out" at one point.
Okay, I'll be honest, I actually didn't. I was too focused. The only thing I could really hear when I was listening to was "Ooh La La, wee wee" bit, which I thought was weird. But then I realised, and I did look and check when it's saying "wee wee," it's French for "yes, yes." Which then led me to find, because Ooh La La, there's also another song, I can't remember who it's by, where they just say Ooh La La in their song as well. And it's meant to be like what I thought was just a French stereotype. Like, doesn't actually mean anything, but apparently it actually does have context and actually used quite a lot in France. Apparently means wow or something's impressive.
Yeah, I guess like when they say, Ooh La La.
Yeah, but I say it's always done in a stereotypical way, and like sort of you think it's just an English person trying to do a French person kind of thing. But actually, it actually does have meaning. It's not just randomness to it. If that makes sense.
Okay, but yeah, just going back to that point now about like lyrics, "Pull my penis out" again. I don't really want to be hearing that sort of stuff in music that I'm listening to. So that kind of getting back to the point I was making earlier about, you know, as a 34-year-old male, I don't, want to. It's just not my sort of thing.
Whilst we're there as well, I would say, because obviously there's a lot of swearing in a lot of these first songs as well. And again, me and you, Lee, we're not prunes. We don't mind swearing. Have no problem with that. But I think when it comes to music, when there's it kind of loses this whole reason why it's probably swearing in and stuff. I don't know. It's just sometimes a bit too much of it. I don't know.
Yeah, you don't want too much. The next one, Out of Sight. I put down best so far, but still not my style.
Okay. Yeah, no, I didn't like this one too much either. The sort of tune itself wasn't too bad, so I could probably see why you may have liked it so far, but outside of 2 Chainz, yeah, no, I wasn't too much a fan. Again, a lot of swearing in that one as well.
I mean, I know we've still got a lot more to go through, but to me, again, this sounds like the sort of music that a younger person, I'm not saying we're old, but, like someone in their late teens, early 20s kind of thing is going to like. I would have thought. I don't know. Next one was Holy Alamafuck. I put quite a bit going on, an odd track. It was quite mixed. It was like with the way things were happening in that. I thought that was quite unique. Not saying I didn't like it, but It's interesting.
It's really funny. So you made that comment just before about who would kind of listen to it, and I don't really agree, because I think whatever style movies you like to listen to. However, I did write one of my notes here, too modern for me, maybe. Which I find, yeah. But yeah, a lot going on. But it did seem about halfway through, it did change a bit and did seem to improve, get a bit better.
That's what I mean. It changed.
So
You used
more
the word
likable.
changed. Yeah.
Yeah, definitely more likable. But then, so overall as a song, didn't overall enjoy. But yeah.
Okay. Goonies versus E.T. I just put down a bit rubbish.
Okay. So I was quite looking forward when I saw the title. This one, it was quite interesting. It seemed a bit more dancey, a bit more upbeat. This was actually then my favourite so far. But then sort of overall, not again. So a lot of swearing, is still a lot going on, but was starting to enjoy that one a bit in some ways.
Okay. Then we had Walking in the Snow, which the title of the song could be like on like, I don't know, some 1960s kind of jazz album or something. I don't know. It's like Walking in the Snow, Walking in the Snow. It sounds really like nice and calm, but yeah, it's on a hip hop album. I put down Woman Rapping, just as just a note down. It was a woman that was involved in this one as well. But not feeling it, just didn't like it.
So it seemed very 90s. It's funny you said, obviously, with the title, that could be on a different kind of album. However, at this point, it did start to slow down a bit. This is where actually the background music was enjoyable, was turned down a bit, and there was more emphasis on the lyrics and the people rapping. And which made me feel at this point, it'd be probably good to actually have maybe the lyrics to see them and appreciate. But I said I didn't want to have to do that, because that's not what it was all about, really. But like I said, I think that's when the mood started to change a little bit.
Yeah, I want to just point out, actually, I don't even think I've really talked to you about this before, but I'm notoriously bad at listening to lyrics and understanding and taking them in. I'm much more of a kind of tune person. Do I like the sound of it? I just find it very difficult to take in the lyrics, even if I can hear them, which a lot of the time with songs you can't even hear them anyway, because you've got the background, the music going on. But even if I can take the words in, I don't actually take them in as such. I don't put them together and make a meaning out of them. I don't know why. It's just the way I am. So yeah, I find it very bad at understanding songs, unless I am listening and with the lyrics on the screen, and that obviously changes things. But
yeah,
I guess
I'm exactly the same as you with that. Yeah.
However, the next song, for some reason, the lyrics I did manage to understand what they were talking about, what they were singing about. This one was an interesting one called Just, and it was clearly about, well, they were referring to slavery. I think that they were talking about, like, maybe in the music industry, I'm not sure, like people trying to make, the managers trying to make money from them and stuff. And interestingly, it was featuring this guy called Zach De La Rocha, who I've never heard of. He's from Rage Against the Music. I think, Brett, you've
Rage
heard
Against
of this
the Machine.
Group. Sorry, Rage Against the Machine, who are a kind of rocky group. Yeah. So I put down the song wasn't great, didn't particularly like it, but I found it interesting how there was a collaboration between, a rocker and this style of music. Again, I don't know, maybe you probably know more about Rage Against the Machine than me and what sort of music they do. I've never heard them before.
No, to be honest, I don't. I just know they're very more rocky than you would say for Weezer, I would say.
Okay. Did you like the song?
Again, wasn't over my favourite, but I then was appreciating it a little bit more. Again, if there was a bit too much going on for me, but as I put here as well, you said you can now, again, more emphasis on the lyrics. You could understand them and what was going on. And the fact you had someone else mixing into that as well. It just wasn't a rule for me, but I could definitely see why people would probably like that particular song.
Okay. Then we had Never Look Back. I put down weird chorus bit, a bit better, clear lyrics. I was able to, again, understand the lyrics a bit better with this one.
Yeah, exactly the same. A lot slower. Again, just nice, likable music in the background. It felt like then the album was coming a bit more deep and actually having a bit more meaning to it as well. But I say it was just definitely more listenable. Again, still not overall my cup of tea, not my overall favourites, but I could still really appreciate what they were trying to do with that song.
Okay. Then we had The Ground Below. I just put down not good. I didn't really have anything else to say about that one.
Sam didn't write a lot either. I just said very similar to the song previous, Never Look Back. Getting a bit slower, has a bit more meaning to it, but maybe because it was just too similar to the one before. But I've generally preferred the one before than that one.
Okay. Then we had Pulling the Pin. I put down speaking, not even rapping, in parts of it, the song. It was almost like it was speaking with a gospel singer and a rock singer called Josh Homme, who I've never heard of. He's from another rock group called the Queens of Stone Age. So again, I found that interesting, how another rocker's collaborating with this hip hop group. And I quite like the gospel singer part, the woman, but overall, I still didn't really like the song, but it was probably one of the better songs on the album, I would say, this one.
Yeah, I think this was close to being one of my favourite ones. Really enjoyed it again, just again with the gospel singer, the rock singer. It's great to take those two things and almost make it to this whole song. And again, you could hear the lyrics. It had a nice tune to it. It seemed like it was the best of everything they were trying to do on the whole album itself to me. It felt a very powerful song, even though I didn't really look into what it was about or wasn't really taking on board the lyrics and stuff. I don't know if I was like pulling the pin. To me, initially, I'm thinking something like grenades. So whether it had something to do with war. Again, like I said, I don't know. I didn't really look into it, but without even knowing anything about it, it just sounded like a real powerful song.
Yeah. It probably was a powerful song. I don't know. I never really kind of thought of it. Is it powerful or not? Yeah, interesting. And then we had one song left. A Few Words for the Firing Squad, in brackets, Radiation. This was a really interesting one for me. I wrote down unusual style, but not for me. Trumpet blowing instrumental. And at the end, what the hell is going on? It went really weird from what I remember. From what I remember of it. Like, this is crazy. I don't know. It just went. Do you remember what went on? I can't actually remember because I listened to this all a few days ago.
Yeah, very little no. So it was. So you had so the type of the track is a few words from the Firing Squad, and then Radiation. That's actually a hidden track.
Right. Yeah.
So it's meant to be very separate there. You had that sort of. I know we keep referring back to it a lot. A Tribe Called Quest. You know, we had the woman who was doing like the tour kind of thing. Yeah. So you again had like a bit of an intro bit there, and then all it was at the end was them saying Yankee. What I thought was Yankee and the Brain, but obviously based on the first track, they obviously were saying Yankee and the Brave. But it sounded very much like I don't know if you've ever seen the cartoon when we were younger called Pinky and the Brain.
I haven't heard of it.
Okay, so we look at that. It then sort of reminded me of that. So it was a bit sort of around there, but it was technically a hidden track. So I think really you should put it aside to the main one. But again, with that song, again, it felt like a lot of thought got into it, quite similar to the one before. What's I put here? Again, good mix. Really listenable to it. I quite like the jazz trumpet bits in it. But whether people who generally like Run the Jewels, whether they would actually like think, why is there no rapping bit? Why is there no hip hop style bit? Why have we got this jazz stuff there? But for me, I actually quite enjoyed that bit.
So yeah, I mean, I guess based on what we've just said on the review, there was some variety in the album, which again we've said before, we like that. We do like variety rather than everything being the same. But still, with all that being said, I was very happy when the album finished. I was glad to get it out the way. It was a short album, less than 40 minutes. Because I wasn't enjoying it, it actually felt longer. I think that's probably quite a normal thing. If you're not liking something, it kind of seems to drag out a little bit. But I mean, that's two hip hop albums we listened to now recently on this channel. Both very different. One from the 90s, and one very recent from this year. And yeah, it's just not my thing. It really isn't. So Brett, is there anything else you want to say just before we wrap this up?
No, like I say, again, wasn't my favorite album, wasn't over my concept, but like I said, I was surprised to take quite, some stuff from that, really. Again, if it had been a longer album, would I've gone and listened to it again? Probably not, because I knew it was a shorter album. I was willing to sort of listen to it again and go back through it and stuff. It definitely wasn't horrendous. It definitely wasn't the worst. I can see if you're into hip hop, rap, why you would probably maybe like this album. But like I said, yeah, it definitely wasn't something I couldn't listen to. But at the same time, not my favorite. Something I wouldn't listen to on a regular basis.
Yeah, well, it's good you can always find positives no matter what the album is. You always seem to, find something on there you like, and it's good. But yeah, okay. I guess that's all from us for today with this album. We will see you again on Wednesday for the next review. Not the review, but the album choice. So guys, we'll see you on Wednesday. Goodbye.